First, one thing super important that I would like to start with, that I'm going to talk at your level, like my level. It's not super science heavy. I'm going to talk about how it happens. And, you know, it, cancer is called the silent killer, right? There is a very strong reason behind that. Both of my parents, they passed away at a very young age because of cancer. And at that time, we didn't realize it, but there was a reason behind it. My mother, she used to eat pan a lot. The pan is the betel leaves, but they take the way it is made in, like, it's cultural. There's a particular recipe that used tobacco in it. Then my father, he used to work when he was in Japan for the longest time. He used to work with a chemical factory where they used to handle asbestos as well and many chemicals as well. So that's what we're going to talk about, how your everyday life can start, can initiate, can regulate, and can influence your genes, your DNA. Sometimes the capacity to get cancer is hidden within your DNA. Sometimes it's acquired. So you need to realize the way we are living, the conditions around you, and again, your susceptibility as well. So being science students, one thing that you need to start with is your family history. You know what's going on around you. You should be able to know, realize, and get a strong grasp on what your daily habits are and how your family is living under what conditions. So I'm gonna move through my screen. Okay, quick question. How many of these snacks have you tasted? Which one is your favorite? Maybe get in the chat. Which one is your favorite snack? And the difference between these are the Cheetos, right? The Cheetos, the white ones, kind of white ones, and the red ones. Which one is your favorite? The difference between two. So I'm gonna expand my screen so I can see your chat. The hot Cheetos, yes. Okay, so that's what we're gonna talk about, like a real good talk. Okay, now what do you see on the screen? Quick, quick, quick. One quick second. What do you see? A zipper. Very good. What's the difference between these two pictures? Broken. Very well said. So one is the zipper, the other very good. So good and bad. Yeah. One thing, if I want you to just focus and I tell my students to regurgitate or regurgitate. Doesn't matter how you pronounce it. We know how ruminants are cows and some other camel, for example. They have the food eaten, then they keep bringing it up and keep digesting it. So bring your memory back. That is resembling to the DNA structure, right? The DNA double helix. So that helix and the zipper, very, very close. That's how your DNA is translated. It completes, it repairs the regular cycle, right? The other picture that you see, which is broken, when your DNA has something going on with it. Those zippers, those teeth of the zipper, they are broken. Those teeth, actually, we're gonna resemble them with the nitrogenous bases on the DNA double helix. Yeah. Do we remember what's the structure of the DNA? Quickly. If not, I can remind you. We have nitrogenous bases. We have hydroxyl chain, right? Some other very, very important structures. Very good. So, these teeth of the zipper, they are the structure of DNA, which are the nitrogenous bases. Your cancer cells and the things that impact those cells and get them cancerous, those things, and one of those, the hot Cheetos, the thing that make them hot and look red, one of those things actually steal those teeth, the nitrogenous bases from your DNA, from those cells, which later on get cancerous. So we will take a good look at that. Let me quickly talk about what's the difference between normal and the cancerous cells. So we know normal cell has a life cycle, right? The cell replicates, then daughter cells, and they keep on replicating, right? They have a particular set of information, they do replicate, and then after replication, each daughter DNA, each daughter cell gets the DNA, which has complete set of instruction. So that's how the life goes on. That's how the cells in your body, your skin, your hair, that's how they grow. But what if the daughter cells, they lose the instruction? They don't have the manuals to work on. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what to do, right? So what happens, the difference between normal cell and the cancerous cell, that normal cells have a particular set of instruction. They know what to do. They know what to act. They know when to start. They know when to stop. Abnormal cells or the cancerous cells, they lose their instruction manual, and they keep on producing themselves, keep on replicating, keep on repeating the instruction without the productive action to perform. For example, if you have ever have a, or maybe you have seen a movie with a robot, sometimes a glitch in the robot makes that robot repeating the same thing, and then the actions go wild, and they become destructive, right? All the AI movies, all the lately couple movies come, I forgot the name of it, but the doll, right? The housekeeper, the doll, the friend gone, rogue, or it got into, monster or whatever. So normal cells, complete cycle. They know when to start, when to stop. And after a certain time, they do disappear, destruct. Abnormal cells, they escape their life cycle, and then they do not know how to stop. Now imagine one thing is keep replicating and it doesn't have a purpose. What's going to happen? It will definitely feed on other things. It will definitely take its food because it has to survive. It doesn't know how to, but it has to survive. So, where that survival is going to come from? It will feed on other good things and will turn everything into bad. That's what happens. That's the difference between your normal cell and the cancer cell. Now, quickly, the things that we know that cause cancer. Number one, cancer very much can be genetic. Person doesn't born with the cancer. The mutation in the DNA structure, the DNA, the whole set of information, one piece of information missing or one piece of information miscoded, that can exist in a person's DNA. So a person born with that defective gene, that person won't have cancer, won't be born with cancer, but have very much probability to have cancer in their later life. That's what we call the genetic cancer. It can be the acquired cancer when your living conditions, your surroundings, your food, that can impact your DNA, your cell cycle, and your body can respond in terms of cancer. So we have asbestos, like I gave you example of my father. He used to work with a company in Japan. They didn't know, at that time there was not much awareness, I guess. Later on, he was gone when he was 64 years old, liver cancer, and that was stage 4, silent cancer. We will talk about that. The diesel exhaust particles, ionizing radiations, UV, all of these, what do they do? Now, why I showed you that zipper. So zipper is the structure of your DNA. We know that base of everything is your atom, right? An atom, the nucleus, the electrons, the protons, the neutrons, the electrons. UV radiations can knock off those electrons from the atom, and once it knocked off, it is susceptible. So UV radiations at a particular wavelength, they can cause cancer. But again, remember, when we are talking about the cancer causing agents, there is always a threshold level. Up to a certain limit, everything is safe. Beyond that limit, they can be very, very harmful. So you can see on the screen right here where my cursor is, the guanine, that's the structure of your DNA, the nitrogenous base it is. What happens that something from all of these agents, the cancer causing agents, that can cause your nitrogenous bases to lose their structure. So again, if the instruction manual is not complete, guanine is not there, if it is broken or if it is replaced by something else, the protein that will come out of that structure, your DNA structure, that will not be the one your body needs. That will cause the cancer cells to function and even to be born. Let me see if I can move this. Okay, good. So normal cell cycle, cell grows, DNA replicates, cell divides, and then old or damaged cells, they die off. Cancer cells, they keep ignoring the chemical signals, they keep continuing dividing, and because they do not have the right set of instruction, their proteins are not functional, then they form tumors, and then we can talk about the benign tumors and the malignant tumors. Sometimes the cancer cells, they are bad in a certain area. Sometimes cancer cells and their secretions are that much strong that they can rupture the protective layers among different tissues, and they can cause the other organs to go bad as well. So cell communicate through chemical signals, right? We have proteins, we have hormones, we have enzymes. So cancer cells disrupt these signals. Now, benign tumors have fewer DNA mutations. Malignant tumors, they accumulate many genetic mutations. Now, when I'm saying mutation, that means change in your DNA structure. We know there are 4 nitrogenous bases, right? A, C, G, T. Let's not go much into detail, but ACGT or ACGU, once it translates, it has to have a particular code, and that code translates into something productive. If that code is not correct, for example, your lockers, right? Your sports lockers or your gym lockers or the regular lockers you get assigned in middle school, if you are not putting in the right code, it's not going to open, right? Here, if the right code is not put in, that becomes the cancerous cell. That means all the protein that's going to come out of it, it will survive up to a limit, and after that, it will become cancerous. So, like I told you, it can be inherited, it can be acquired. That's your DNA structure I was talking about. So, radiation can damage this DNA structure. So, UV radiation causes your skin cancer. Tobacco, the smoke chemicals, they cause lung cancer. Asbestos fibers, they cause lung diseases and also the cancer. Now, how does that happen? Free radical, whole cancer chemistry is those free radicals. What are those free radicals? Free radicals are the cells, are the atoms, are the nuclei which do not have complete set of electrons. Now, because they do not have complete set of electrons, they will go and snatch that very much needed electron from some other atom. some other cell, right? You can provide that missing electron to that particular atom, and if you are not substituting that need, that particular atom, that particular cell is going to snatch that from somewhere else. That's called your free radical. Free radicals go and attack regular cells, and they snatch those electrons from other particular cells. When your parents say that eat fruits, eat vegetables, there is a particular reason behind that. Antioxidants. You must have learned about this term, the antioxidant, from so many skin and makeup and personal care items as well. Have you heard about the antioxidant, the term antioxidant? There are so many skincare items they advertise as the antioxidant. It is in there, right? That antioxidant does what? The free radical, when it is coming to attack the normal cell to snatch the extra electron, your antioxidants, they provide the extra electron to free radical and shut off the free radical. So antioxidant is actually the cure for the free radical. So free radical get satisfied and do not disturb your regular cells. So focus on your diet. Free radicals are in your body naturally. Hydroxyl radical, OH, superoxide anion radical, O2, superoxygen, it is called as well, and nitric oxide radical as well. You see that nitrogen and oxygen. Once you will go and learn more chemistry, you would know that the ultimate goal of each atom found in your body is to achieve that set of electrons and the completed outermost shell. Whenever it is not, that causes the atoms, the molecules, the compounds to bond together. Free radicals are the ones that attack the cell, make them weak, dissolve the protective layer, and then everything goes wrong from that point onward. So that's how they're formed. Like I said, they are in your body. Free radicals are in your body. So number one thing, if you don't want any reason to be provided to your body, your cells, to go towards the cancer, you need to have the antioxidant rich food in your diet. So vitamin C, the citrus fruits, vitamin E, tocopherols, they are your nuts, the seeds, the vegetable oils, they protect the cell membranes. Beta carotene, your carrots, your sweet potatoes, polyphenols, your tea, your dark chocolate, the berries. See, it said that dark chocolate protects you against cancer. That's the reason, because of those antioxidants in there. They take over the free radical, and then your body is under a little less threat to get the cancer. Now, quickly, let's take a look at what are those chemicals that can cause cancer. Benzene, that's in gasoline. Industrial chemicals like formaldehyde, cigarette smoke, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, aflatoxins, those moldy peanuts or the grains, packaged food. So what do they do? The DNA alkylation is the process. So these chemicals, they attach the alkyl groups to DNA bases, changing their structure. Now again, think about that zipper, the teeth of the zipper. For a normal zipper, it's easy. You just push the whatever that head is, you just push that up and your zipper closes, right? If that teeth is broken, then your zipper is not gonna get closed or not gonna get fixed. All these are causes for those teeth to go missing. Alkylation, that removes the nitrogenous bases, they get it punctured, and then your cell gets into the cancerous phase. So the other thing, You must have heard that the cancer cells grow on sugar. You know how? Because cancer cells, they cannot replicate on their own, right? They are replicating, they are dividing, but they don't have anything to survive on. They need their food. Where that food is coming from? Number one, the free radical I told you. Number two, you know, they produce the glycolysis. The glycolysis is the process they use. What they do, they break down the glucose, they take the glucose molecules, they break down the glucose molecules. Even there's not enough oxygen, what they produce the lactate, the lactic acid. Lactic acid, right? That promotes the acidic condition. Remember, the cancer cells, they need the lower pH and they need energy to thrive on. That energy comes from sugar. So that's why, hold off using sugar products. Number two, the antioxidants. Use them in your diet. So, how the chemotherapy works? Again, chemotherapy, all the chemicals that are being used, we use them to repair the DNA, to provide that missing information, to get those cancer cells get to the right direction. They stop the DNA synthesis. Targeted therapy, it's a long topic, but again, those are the two factors I told you. The free radicals, they do control the free radicals, and number two, they stop the glycolysis in the cells, so cancer cells, they don't have anything to feed on and they die off. Now, quickly. So again, one more time, I put that slide intentionally in the beginning and at the end. When you are choosing these, that's the reason you should avoid the red chemical, those dyes, the red dye, the azo dyes they are called. Do you see the naked Cheetos? They are making the naked Cheetos, naked Doritos, not because they are so much worried about your health and not giving you the dye because you can get cancer or not, because internationally the health organizations, they are implementing that rule by force, that these organizations, the food organizations, they have to hold off using the red dye. So red 40, yellow 5, there are a couple more, and they are petroleum based synthetic products. So you are eating petroleum if you are eating these hot Cheetos or whatever those are. So you're a source of antioxidants. And I'm sure we don't have much more time left, Sadika. Yes? No?
Yes, we have around 7 more minutes, but thank you so much for the presentation. It was really, really informative.
Absolutely. We can go much more deeper, but number one, I have no idea how much chemistry you already have learned. And number two, like we can spend hours and hours on, but stick on to where I started, that my parents are the example. My mother got cancer definitely because of the tobacco consumption. My father, because he was working in the chemical factory, that induced the cancer cells, which he later on, when he was 64, he got diagnosed and it was already too late. The stage 4 metastatic cancer that we call, that cancers are cancer cells are literally out of control at that point, right? So just one quick screen I want to, I'm not sure if I will bring it here. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to show that to you and then I will let you guys go. So there it is. So that's the latest news. The Duncan Hines, we know that factory, right? The PAM, they said they will phase out artificial colors um, by the end of 2027. So if the hot mac and cheese, my daughter loves it so much, the red one, they are taking it out of the shelves in the stores. That they are forced to remove that dye from us by the end of 2027, we won't be able to see any red dyed food or any other products in the market. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. I hope it made sense.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Yes.
Kiran.
much.
Yeah, it was
It was-
very, very informative. And Sadhika, if there are any questions?
Yes.
Yeah, does anyone have any quick questions they would like to ask, or just put it in the chat too if they want, if they didn't want to say it out loud?
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Sarika, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Most welcome.
Okay, I think we have around 4 minutes. Does anyone have anything they would like to ask?
No, asking questions, it's so hard. I will never ask questions. And, Sadhika, the Adhan is just starting and I will be breaking my fast, so I will take your leave. Thank you so much again, and maybe we can talk later.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.